Greetings, my name's Dwayne, and I'm just going to take a little bit of time here to show you how to make some gnome ornaments for the holidays. Now, these were real popular last year. I had several clients that ordered dozens of the pine cone gnomes. And so what I'm going to do is show you how to make the hat. And then you can attach it. I'll show you just how to attach it to a regular standard ornament. You could do that. Foam ball. You can attach it to the foam ball. There's several different things. Pine cones are just quick and easy. They're fun, beautiful things, especially for Christmas ornaments, and many ways to decorate them. And part of that too is it's great for groups to get people together, get the family together, get kids together. If you have a scouting group, a church group, any type of organization that loves to get together and do some crafts, these are quick and easy crafts to do. And you can do them either sewing or no sew. So I'm going to show you a little bit of both, how to do it with just doing a hot glue that you don't even have to do any sewing. Or if you want to do just a quick sew, all you're doing is going to be sewing down one seam and then gluing the rest together. Our family used to get together once a year at Christmas time to make ornaments, and we love that, just around the tree, having different things that our kids actually made. It was a time that we could get all 7 kids around the table, spend 5-10 minutes before the fights broke out, but time that they could just create and have fun too. And those have just been memories that we have kept for years. So I've drawn out a simple plan. Of course, I'll take a picture afterwards and show you too what it is. But I'm simple template just to make our hat here. And I take my 9x12 piece of felt, and I'm going to fold it over. Almost seems like we should have some Christmas music or holiday music going on, or teach my bird how to sing. I'm going to fold it over, and I can actually get 3 hats out of 1 piece of felt. And as I say, I always like to get as much as I can out of it. Now, I'm doing a 4.5 by 5 inch up the side here, and 3.5 inches along the bottom here. Roughly, it's going to come out to about 5 inches on the side there. And I want a 1/4 inch right at the top there, a little bit of trim 1/4 inch there. And I'll show you in a minute why I do that. But with this being 9 inches, that way I can get 2 out of that. And then I'll get 1 more over here to the side. Now, if you want to do something longer than this, that's fine. Add a little bit more, add a 1/2 inch, add 1 inch onto that, and you'll get a longer hat. You won't get as many pieces out of the felt, but you can do that. You can get a longer hat. This one's actually just slightly bigger. It's about 1 inch taller. So you can see a little difference there. It depends on whatever size you want to make it, whatever you're comfortable with, that's fine. But I do this so I can get the most out of my felt. And what I'm going to do is just cut out a couple pieces here to show you. As I said, we're going to do one where we sew, stitch it up there, and try to do one with just the hot glue gun. So I'm just cutting out along my template. And so once I have my piece there, I'm going to do one more here. And once again, I'm doing my 1 inch up here, so I have it on a tilt. So I end up with it in the center rather than off to the side. That's why I do the 1 inch when I cut it there. So here I lay my template back down. I've already got my top part there. There. And like I said, I can get my 3rd one out of this piece here and still have others, a little bit left over for other stuff to work on too. This is also good too if you have scraps laying around. These aren't that big, so sometimes I'll have scraps from other projects laying around. So I'll just use that with the scraps and use up a lot of scraps that way. Now, with these, I can open them up. And you're going to see you have some more of a flat edge up top there. I'll take what's called baker's twine. You can get it again any craft store, any of the the Dollar Trees, the Hobby Lobby, Joann's, any of those you could pick up in many different colors. You can also use yarn, twine, anything that you want to use as for actually hooking onto to hang it. Now what I do is I cut it a foot, 12 inches. Again, do what you like. If you have a preference that you find that you cut it 12 inches and it looks like it's gonna hang a little bit too long, then shorten it. Do 10 or 11 inches. If you find that it's not long enough for where you want to hang it, I mean, it just works out great for me, then go ahead, make it 13, 14 inches, whatever suits you and suits your ornament. Once I've cut it my 12 inches, I tie the top. And I usually loop it around 2 or 3 times, make it so I get a tight knot there. So let me show you the hot glue gun way first. So I'm just gonna line it up there right in the middle. I'm gonna take a dab of hot glue. And just set it right down in the hot glue. That's going to take a moment there. Once it dries, I'm going to fold this over so that's right down in the seam. And then again, I'm going to lightly glue. I keep my glue gun on low. I don't like it hot, too hot. And I'm just going to run a little seam down the side. Practice that all the time so I don't get it stuck to my fingers, and sure enough, there's a little bit. So I've glued that down. Again, I'm trying to wait for it to dry just a little bit. Try not to glue it to my table or my templates there, but now the other way is if I'm going to sew it. Again, I take one of my strings, tie it off, do the same thing. I stick it right in there, fold it over, and then with it in there, I'm going to take my thread. Now again, for purposes here, I'm going to use a piece of floss, and I'm going to use something that's colorful. Normally what I would do is I would use the same color. If I'm using red, I'm going to use red thread, and I'm going to just poke it right through there. And I'm probably going to do that about 3 or 4 times at least, just so I get a real nice strong stitch, especially if I'm just using thread. I'm going to run that through there. And then I'm going to sew down the side. Once again, if you've seen any of my other tutorials, I do the blanket stitch. It's just as easy if you want to put it in a sewing machine and stitch it there and go right down the side, or if you just want to do a regular just stitch right down the side, you can do that too, because this is going to end up being the inside. So I'm just going to stitch it down there. And since this is dry, I'm sure by now, I'm going to show you. Once I've had that glued, I'm going to turn it inside out. Now here's the helpful part too, especially people that don't like turning things inside out, have a hard time. You have your string there. Just gently pull on the string. You've got it glued down. It holds in place. There you have it. Your knot's inside, so you don't even see it. and you have your hat. From here, all I do is take some of my stuffing, and again, I do little pieces. I want it to pack down there nice and firm. So I pack a little bit in there. And just keep packing. Okay, so once I get it pretty much packed, leave about a 1/2 inch in there. I'm going to pick out a pine cone at this time. Now what I've done is I use a larger pine cone. They're about 2 inches across the top. Same thing with, this is a standard ornament. A lot of ornaments you can get almost anywhere. I use a plastic. I don't like using glass. It's breakable. Try to get something that's unbreakable, especially if you're working with groups. You're working with kids, you're working with elderly nursing home groups or anything. I get a lot of ask for about that. I'm looking for something that's got 2-inch diameter there. What that's going to do is, if you get into the math and all that, you figure out the circumference is 2 times the diameter times pi, and you come out with basically 6.28, which doesn't mean a thing to anybody except for you're going to have about 3 inches around halfway. Long story. Regular ornament, just pick out a nice regular ornament about 2 inches across. I'm going to cut my beard. Let me show you that here while I'm here. I'm going to take beard. A lot of times, again, I'm using scrap stuff that I have left over, or the ends and ends, and I'm using that. So I get to use a lot of my scraps here. These, again, cost me almost nothing to make. The pine cones I can find out in my yard or at work. I have the grandkids go out and pick them up, so I don't even have to worry about my labor on that. And I cut them, I do 3 inches across. So I got my 3 inches across there. And then you can either go 1.5 inches or 2 inches, depending on how long the pile is. Here I have a shorter pile, long pile, and even something with a bit even longer. This one I did actually 1.5 inches because my beard was going to be so long. So 1.5 inches to 2 inches, again, it's your preference. And I sort of round it up, so I have a curve there. And what I do is I'll take an ornament. Let's do this. And I have the seams. I don't know if you can see them or not, but in the ornaments, there's usually a plastic ornaments, there's a seam there. And I'll start that at one side and go to the other. And I'm about a 1/2 inch down from the top there. I'm going to take my glue gun, run it along there, and glue that on. If you have kids, again, be careful, do the gluing yourself. Let them do, cut out stuff. They can do the decorating. So I'm going to glue my beard on. Let that dry for a moment since I got a little bit of glue there. And then we're going to take our hat. And we're just going to glue the hat onto. Now, since I've stuffed it and I've made it firm, I'll just run glue on the inside of the hat. And then bring my hat down. Should come right to the beard there. And there I have my ornament with my beard. And we're going to do some embellishments with it and everything here too. But this is how you can do it without even having to do any stitching. No sewing, all just the glue gun, putting it together, simple like that. Now, here I started one where I'm stitching down. I'm just going to switch off and grab another just to show you where I've already done the stitching on it. Set that one aside. And once again, I turn it inside out. I got my string to help pull on it. And there I have it, my hat. And this time I'm going to pick out one of my pine cones. And again, I'm going to glue it to the top there once I get some stuffing in there to firm it up. This helps too when you put little pieces in there that you can help sort of mold the hat too. It doesn't look lumpy. So again, I'm trying to get it to about 1/2 inch in there. Fits on the crown of the pine cone. And I usually look before I put the center part someplace, just so I got some place to put the nose. I can glue around the outside there, or glue on the inside here. And just place it on there. Now, if you do find that there's some area that it's not sitting on real well, you can always lift it up just a little bit, just add a little bit of touch of glue underneath there. Again, we're looking for, these are the bigger pine cones, and you can pick them up anywhere too, if not off the ground, at any of the craft stores and get them. So now we've made our simple cone and ornament. This is the type of thing too, if you are doing groups, you can take in and do these, have these already made and take them into the group, and then get your accessories, get different things that you can add to them, add the lace. When I have younger kids, I might go ahead and build these myself. And then, you only have so much time working with certain groups and working with children. Let them add the glitter. Let them add the little fun pieces and the glue and everything. And again, it's a creative type thing that they can just make. Every single one can be different. It can be fun. But this is the best part. This is the part that my grandkids love every year, because this is the part where I tell them they get to pick their nose. That's right. Pick your nose. Pick whatever type of nose you want. So you get to pick your nose. Now, I personally, I'm sort of crazy about not having colors or anything for a nose, but you could actually just pick something fun, and you find kids have a great time with that, and it is. Pom-poms are easy to work with. They're great. You can add pom-poms to the top up here for some character, but if you want a nose, pick your nose. Pick your nose and have fun with it. That's my quote for the day, pick your nose. But I'm just going to use a 3/4 inch wood ball here for this. Glue that on there. Now again, it's however you want, whatever you want. Just have fun picking your nose. Stick that in there. If I look like I need something a little bit more glue, I'll add a touch more glue. Like I can trim that a little bit there. Or what I can also do is I can add some of my trim around here. So I can make an ornament there and have a lot of fun with that. Same thing with my ornament ball. As I said, you can use a foam ball, which again you're looking for is the 2-inch diameter. These are just standard. I've picked up several ornaments already this year, and they've all been pretty much the exact same size. One other thing too, I don't know if you saw over here, this real shiny one. This is actually craft foam. I took craft foam and I did the same thing. You can buy the sheets. They're the same 9 by 12. Fold it over, cut it out, and either do the same thing. Either glue or sew up and down the side, turn it inside out, and there you have a shiny hat. So this is just some ideas as far as ornaments. We're going to get into doing some more ornaments throughout the year here too. But I hope this gives you some ideas, something that you can play with, something you can get together with family, friends, make your own. These are also great ideas for if you are in craft shows or in the craft malls, something to add additional to on there. If you sell your gnomes online, these are great thank you gifts, especially with the holidays coming up. They cost me less than 20 cents a piece to make. I can make them even for less than that with just finding the parts and using my scraps. So they're real nice gifts that keep around, and they're nice gifts that you can just give to those that you want to have fun with, because they can add things too. So I hope that helps you out. I hope to see what you guys are creating too. I love to see just different things that are added on and the way that people can take the basics. That's all I want to do, is show you the basics, how to do it, give you an idea, and then have you have fun with it.